Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. This is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video diving into some of the events going on in game, like this special Winter's Path, and then also we'll be going over just helping you prepare as we head into the weekend for managing your account efficiently. Now, sorry, I'm a few hours late on getting this. I've had meetings going on today until now, but definitely wanted to give you my thoughts on the Winter's Path and then some of the also crazy offers that we're kind of getting in the shop. There's a bunch of different stuff going on. I'll get them graded for you. I'll talk about the optimal path that I'm going to be going for here in the Winter's Path and all of that as we head into the weekend for Raid Shadow Legends. Let's get into it. Alrighty, first off, I want to give you my thoughts on some of the events going on in game. We've got the 2X events going on for Sacred, Ancient, and Voids all this weekend. Now, typically it's not a horrible choice to pull shards during 2X events, especially if you are a beginner. But if you are mid-game or end-game, you do want to be a little bit careful and kind of try to weigh your options about double dipping, waiting for the next fusion. We'll probably find out what the next fusion is going to be within the next week or two, because we get about one fusion a month just over the last couple of years here in Raid. And then also, you know, maybe waiting until there is like a guaranteed summon event and managing your account effectively to make sure you don't miss out on an event that you would really want to get after. But that is obviously not all. We have got a lot of commotion in the community about this free removal gear swapping opportunity that we are getting in Raid, where it's going to be completely free of charge to swap gear around in Raid, which is a huge opportunity that never really happens. We all hope that it starts to happen more often and becomes a trend to alleviate, because we've got so many different teams and champions that we need to build. It is going to be really nice to be able to move gear around, but I do want to touch on it here for a little bit because it's not an event we see hardly ever. So, okay, by the way, up on the top right, if you click the little purple helm icon, you can see the minus 100% gear removal cost. I wish it would just say free gear removal cost or whatever, but anyway, decrease the silver cost of removing artifacts and accessories from champions, and then it shows you the remaining time on that, so you can get confirmation up there on the top right before you begin, and it's just going to be free to swap stuff around finally and move it around. Now, I don't think that you should go around and just mass unequip your champions. I think that's going to put you in a conundrum where you've got a bunch of stuff all over your account, and I've done the takeovers. I know what a lot of your accounts look like out there with your full inboxes and chock full storage between your artifacts and everything going on, and trying to use champions in your vault to mule gear to hang on with, to as many pieces as possible. So I know a lot of you out there are probably close to being full. So just keep in mind, if you start removing a bunch of gear, just doing 10 champions is going to be like 90 slots taken up on your account for storage. It'd be 60 on the artifacts. So you know, if you're sitting at 1290 out of 1300, you're probably going to want to go through and clean your account up first before you start doing stuff like that. And also, you don't want to get in a position where you've got 40 champions that are naked, and now all of a sudden you're miserable when you're trying to get into faction wars, like, oh crap, I forgot to put them back together and all that. So do take advantage of it and do use it as an opportunity to rebuild and re-look at maybe some of the most crucial champions on your account, but be careful about just mass ripping everything off and trying to like start from scratch or something. And I also want to touch on this Winter's Path event. Now, I did do a poll here on the channel, so let's go ahead and pull up the poll that we did a little bit earlier. We're already up over 1,000 votes here in just a couple hours, so a decent sample size. In my polling experience here on the channel, usually once we get somewhere between 500 and 1,000 votes, I can kind of tell semi-reliably how it's going to go. So it's probably going to stay pretty close to 75-25 on the voting here for the Winter's Path. And you know, we're getting some sentiments around like it's going to help if you're pulling shards. You're able to double dip a little bit because you do get points for pulling shards, obviously in the breakdown of the objectives in the event. But if you're not pulling shards, it's probably going to be pretty tough to complete this thing. If you're YOLOing a bunch during the 2X, then you can scoop up some bonus rewards here. So it's a little bit different of like a champion chase type of event that's a little bit more account wide than just a champion chase. So all in all, you know, not super awful, but not amazing as well. Now, for me personally, I'm mostly going to be managing my resources to set myself up effectively for the next Fusion and the next guaranteed Summit event that I want to participate in. So I'm probably not going to be YOLOing a bunch of shards during this weekend's 2X events. So I'm probably going to be looking for the most optimal kind of single route to go down. And what I'm thinking is kind of staying down the left side and going for this Immortal Soulstone. I'm not typically one to spend money on blessings, so I want to acquire these Immortal Soulstones whenever it is realistic to do so for me. And this is going to be about 10,000 plus 2, 14, 15, probably somewhere around 16,000 coins to go down this left side and scoop up the goal of the Immortal Soulstone. So then if we pull up the event info and we start going over this, you can see between like, if you're farming like stage 24 or 25 or whatever, your average points is going to be somewhere around 40, let's call it like 36 or something. But to get 16,000 points, and if you're getting 36 per run, that means that you would have to do about 425 to 450 somewhere in there dungeon runs over the course of the next few days. So I would need to be doing just over 100 dungeon runs a day probably to scoop up the Immortal Soulstone that I want right there. So that's pretty pricey. I think it would make a lot of sense if I were pulling shards during the 2X to kind of go for it, but I'm probably not going to be willing to spend that many resources to go after the Immortal Soulstone. If it was like an Eternal or something, if it was one of the big Soulstones, then I probably would, but that's a little bit pricey to go after an Immortal. So let me know what you think, if you think it's worth it, if you're going to be really trying hard to get a certain path on there, given the price of it and kind of what's up for grabs realistically with how I'm going to be managing my account over the weekend. I'm just going to kind of play my account normally, and I'm going to scoop up whatever resources I can, because you do want to keep in mind we've got a CVC with personal rewards starting in just a few days on Tuesday. But let's also dive into the shop and go over some of these packs that we've got going on over the weekend. We've got a lot of stuff happening because of all the 2X events and then the new year and everything going on. We have already plugged in the countdown pack. Now keep in mind, you do get this over the course of 5 days. So you are not going to be acquiring those 2 sacreds during this event. So if you haven't bought this already, it's probably too late now for it to be worth it to really get in there and get after it. It wasn't an amazing offer. It was just kind of an above average offer anyway. Then we have got the triplet pack. So this is going to be a 3 set of offers, and they are all going to be sacreds, and it gets a little bit progressively more expensive. Now, the 1 sacred for 20 is not going to cut it. You get the 2 for 40, but you do at least get the tomes and the silver. And then the last one is going to be the most worth it. So let's go ahead and plug that in, and let's see what kind of ratio we're getting. We're getting 1.2 million silver, and then we are going to be getting 3,000 energy. Okay, 6 legendary tomes. Where are we at? So 6 tomes, and then the 3 sacred shards. There we go, and we have got a grade. Once we put in the offer price of 60, we get a 1.59. Now, compared to Plarium's average offers that are going to be grading out somewhere between like a 0.9 and a 1.1, this is going to be a well above average offer. So for high spenders that are looking for sacred shards, maybe they're still missing a bunch of the non-void legendaries they want, I could see this making sense. For your more diligent spenders, this wouldn't quite cut it. I like it to get up around that 2.0 mark to be an offer that the more picky spenders would be going after. Do we have any of those 2.0 offers? This is not going to be one. The personal power packs are never good. That's not going to be one. The mini mix pack would be. So the mini mix pack that is a 100% extra, that would be better value. And just for context during the video, I will plug that in for you while we're on the subject. So this $10 mini mix pack for 1 million. There we go. And then we get the 12 energy refills. So boom. The 4 4-star chicken right here. And then the 40 XP brews are going to be going right up here. And then we've got the 12 arena refills right here, and 4 days of XP, bang, and 2 ancient shards right here. The 4 keys, we don't have a way to plug that in, but we'll call it like 150 gems. Well, it's actually 50 a piece, isn't it? Is it 50 a piece or 100? But anyway, I'm gonna call it 200 gems in value. So now you see that is a 2.42. Now some of you don't even care about the clan boss keys. Even if you remove those, it is a 2.18. So just for general resources on your account, these 100% extra mini mix packs are typically over that 2.0 threshold, where they would be some of the better offers you're gonna see in game. Savage set, no thanks. Snow coins, let's see, so 6,500. Yeah, I mean, so like if you bought one of these, you'd probably be mostly guaranteed to if you play your account efficiently, two of them you'd be guaranteed to get the Eternal. So the Eternal, let's reset this. Let's go down to the the Immortal. The one Immortal in terms of Plarium value, if that was, so what is the Eternal here? Yeah, so 750, and then why is that total off there? So let's put I must have accidentally typed the wrong thing in here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so 750. That means it'd be worth about $5 if you were trying to spend a little bit more diligently. So you'd be to help you get there by buying this. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could make a case where if you really want that soul stone, you get a little bit bonus value here by scooping up the 6,500 and making it realistic. But I don't think it's something I'm gonna do personally. Let me know down below how you feel about that. I don't think it's quite good enough value. I think this should have been like at least 7,500 for $10, maybe even closer to 10K. And then this should have been probably like 15K, just to help you kind of scoop up some more rewards and make it worth the dollar amount you're spending. But this New Year's Super Pack, now this is going to be a good one. This is going to be one of the better offers that we see coming from Plarium. So let's reset that and let's go 600K, and then we're going to go 600 energy. And then the one of each shard, it looks like. So void, 2, and 3. There we go. Put in the price of $10, and yep, there it is, a 2.67. So that's what we're looking for. When we're going to spend on raid, anything over a 2.5 is up there with some of the best that you're ever going to see. That's like, we probably only get above a 2.5 5 to 10 times a year. So if you are a spender on raid, this is definitely a pack that you would want to scoop up, as it's going to be one of the best you ever see. So, okay, good luck if you are pulling for any of the 2X events going on this weekend and rebuilding your champions and all that. Let me know down below what you plan on doing this weekend, and if you're going to be taking advantage of any of the crazy stuff going on. I always enjoy hearing your perspectives on what you're going to be up to. And I may do a New Year's stream. We may hang out and do like an after dark stream to bring in the new year on tomorrow and kind of hang out for a little bit. And I'll see if anybody's around that wants to jump in and hang out on stream. If for those of you that are going to be around on New Year's and want to hang out and play some raid, we'll see if we can make that happen. But otherwise, as always, remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content, and I will see you soon. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Peace.